What is going on, everyone? Matthew97657 here, and today we are back with yet another figure unboxing and review. And as the title and thumbnail suggests, this is going to be the SH Figurarts Kamen Rider Gavv, Kamen Rider Vram. So with that being said, nothing more to it, then get on right on into it. And before we start, we have a little bit of a box showcase. There it is, Kamen Rider Vram. Awesome, from Kamen Rider Gavv. This is the pudding custom mode, which is just sweet. Side of the box there, as well as the back side, showing off some very fun stock images and whatnot. There is the other side of the box. So there is the top side of the box with the Vram logo, and then the bottom side of the box. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm very excited to open this one up. Huge Vram fan, so I expect this one to be good. Hopefully it is good. The other two releases that they have done have been pretty good, in my opinion. I think they have been good. So yeah, let's continue the trend, shall we? So here it is within our acrylic casing. Take that out. All right, looks like we got a couple of accessories here. So we have the Vram breaker here, which is the bow / scythe. So you can interchangeably just on the fly change it to bow, back to scythe, and then I guess if you want to have it like that too, and that's the thing. So pretty cool, awesome. Very nice detail for such a miniature like effect piece. Here is Kamen Rider Vram Pudding Custom. So we'll have him set there, and so this accessory piece is for the Vram breaker, just giving off the bow and arrow effect, which is very cool. We have a couple of different hand accessories. We have this one, which is kind of looks like a holding hand effect, which is very cool. This one is, I think, for the actual bow, which is very nice. This one is an all-out palm one, so maybe kind of like an action pose like that. And last but not least, we kind of have like a standard just neutral hand position, which is very cool. So let's go ahead and just mix it all up as it was just perfectly normal by itself. But here it is, Kamen Rider Vram SH Figurarts. Oh man, I just love it. It looks awesome, just off rip. So in terms of design, you know, we have the like spoons for the ears. They kind of look like headphones to me, but we do have like little spoons. We do have, you know, kind of like the flan or the pudding everywhere on the coloration. The feet, the shoes, honestly, they kind of look like kind of bulky, and they also have that like little like tip coming up. So very interesting design choice. I think it fits it very well. And so you have the silver undersuit with the black kind of meshed together, and then the knee pads kind of being a pudding type thing. So it's just so darn cool. And obviously we do have the rostrum gear as well. You can see, okay, is the little Gochizo in there? I think it is. And you can kind of see the yellow paint applications they put. Yeah, the Gochizo is in there. I wonder if you can take that out. I really don't want to try because I feel like that's a really small accessory. But awesome, very awesome design. Just love it. Love it. So let's go ahead and showcase the articulation and then showcase some of the accessories in action. So starting off with the head here, we can come up, we can come down, obviously with the neck kind of helping us out here. We can swivel here and there, right? Swivel, and then, you know, you can kind of do a good swivel around the head there. Sorry, I'm trying to showcase everything there. Moving on towards the arms here, so we can come all the way around, which is very nice. You can't really come up too well because of the shoulder pad piece. It's kind of blocking it, but you can get a good elbow joint in and then come around, and then you can come this way around, and then there you go. You got the full degree of motion there, and obviously you do have hand articulation with the ball joint. So very cool, very nice. Moving on towards the abdomen area where the rostrum gear is, we do have a little bit of like a cutoff here, so you can get a little bit of an ab crunch, which is nice. And then you do have like this stomach effect piece as well. So moving on towards the kind of like groin area, you can twist it around a full 360, which is very nice. And then from there, let's go ahead and move on to the legs. A little bit of resistance already, not in terms of coming up, but if you swivel it, you can come all the way up, which is super nice, and then come all the way back down. Obviously, you do have knee joints and stuff like that, so let's move that up like that there. And then from there, you do have a foot joint, which can swivel all the way around. And then there is a toe joint too, at the very top of the shoe. So yeah, for the most part, pretty standard, what you'd expect. So I really do like it. I have seen a good amount of posability within this. I guess I did forget to mention that you can pull the lever up and down, which is just a very nice touch, right? Boom, boom, boom. So you can do the pudding crash. You cannot close the flaps down, unfortunately. I guess that wouldn't make too much sense, right? Because it's in the active mode. You can't push the flaps in, but you can replicate the pudding crash with the lever, which I think is just awesome. So cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and showcase some of the accessories, and from there we'll do some comparisons, and that's about it. So like I said, let's go ahead and get into the accessories. Here we go. All right, so I kind of went with just the base transformation pose that he does with the arm out, and yeah, very, very cool, as you can see, very stylish, and yeah, very cool nonetheless. But what I really wanted to focus on is the Gochizo does indeed come out. I was kind of playing around here. Yeah, so it is able to come out. All you do is, like plop it out, put a fingernail in there. You are able to put it into the Vram breaker, just like within the show. And then I did want to showcase how to put on this, kind of extra bow effect piece. So what you want to do is, oh my goodness. What you want to do is this side where the Gochizo, like, I guess pudding is, and whenever he pulls back, you want to dig your nail under there, just very gently, and then take it out. It is an effect piece, so you can take it out there, and then from there, as you can see, all you have to do is match up that top little square with this square. You put it in there, and then you put this effect back on, and boom, just like that. So pretty simple change nonetheless. So just wanted to showcase that. And yeah, the Gochizo does indeed come off, and you can put it in there, and then obviously you can put it back in there. So very surprising. I know the other figures had the same kind of like compatibility, but it's always just kind of surprising that they're doing that, because they're very, very small pieces, but it goes a long way. So I got to give them props on that one. So let's go ahead and see what other cool poses we can come up with before finishing with the comparisons. Here we go. All right, so I went with a kind of a unique pose, kind of like a on the ground type of last defense with the Vram shooting. I think it really looks pretty good. I mean, obviously it can't stand or like sit on its own without kind of like putting something below the back, because obviously it's coming forward a little bit. But I think just in general, like you could do like an aerial shot too. I think it looks very dynamic is the right word here. So it looks just so cool. The range of posability you can get with this figure is just off the charts. If I have one of my little stands, you can, obviously make it look like he's shooting from an elevated height. So very cool. Obviously showcasing the Vram shooting with the bow and arrow, which is just, oh man, this one is just, I think this is another like stellar release in my honest opinion. But before we go too crazy, let's go ahead and change up the pose, maybe one or two more times, showcasing some more accessories. Oh, and the Gochizo fell out. But, and then from there, we will go in with, there we go. We will go in with the comparisons. So let's go ahead and do a couple more fun figure shoots, and then we'll conclude. Here we go. All right, so we went kind of with a like semi-dynamic pose here with the Vram breaker in the kind of chainsaw mode. I just want to showcase the chainsaw mode on the Vram breaker, which I think looks very cool. As you can see, we still have the Gochizo in there. So yeah, different hand effect to showcase it off. And yeah, I gotta say, I'm just loving the endless possibilities that you can do with this specific figure. Fun amount of accessories with the hand effects and then the Vram breaker. So yeah, let's do maybe one more. Let's do one more, and then we'll finally conclude. Here we go. All right, so I kind of went with just another fun, small, basic one, just kind of going with the lever, initiating the pudding crash. So yeah, you can get the hand on the lever there with the Gochizo back inside. So yeah, very fun stuff all around the board. Gotta say, very fun. I'm really enjoying this one. Just like the Valen and the Popping Gummy form, very, very fun times with this figure. So let's go ahead and bring those two out and get with our comparisons, and we'll conclude with some final thoughts. Here we go. All right, so starting off with our first comparison here, we do have the SH Figurarts Kamen Rider Gavv popping gummy form, and just to showcase, I know I do have Gavv in kind of like a stanced position, but just even then, I would say they're roughly about the same height. But I just love the kind of like contrast between the suits, you know, the yellow, the orange versus like the deep, rich blue colors on Kamen Rider Gavv. And so we'll go ahead and set that to the side there. Lastly, we do have Kamen Rider Vallon as well. Base form, Chokodon. Once again, you know, a little bit more of the refined colors, whatever that means. Obviously, the chocolate colors, the brown and white, but the awesome metallic silver red with the chocolate text on like the shoulder pads and the chest and the helmet. So very cool. Same type of dealio with Vallon. You know, they're probably about the same height, have him in a cool dynamic pose, but kind of want to showcase the standard position for Kamen Rider Vram. So with that being said, you know, I think that does wrap it up for this review. I'm trying not to let Vallon fall. I feel it. I'm feeling it. But yeah, I gotta say, I love it. I love it all. I really do like all the releases they've done so far. For the most part, I think these two in quality are like up there. I do have a little bit of trouble with Gavv, you know, in terms of moving him around just a smidgen. But these two I feel like are really smooth. I don't have that much issues with them. I guess the only thing is that like sometimes it's a little bit hard to put the hand effect onto the Vram breaker just because, you know, the handle is kind of thick, but you want to go right in there where it's not too thick. But that's most of the holding accessories for these human figures. Usually you have to kind of like break it in with the hands and the holding because, you know, they just haven't had anything to hold it in. Hopefully that made sense. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought because I am definitely a huge fan. Having all three of these displayed, I think will be awesome. I think it'll just be super duper cool. I'm very glad I decided to pick them up, these three here, and I'm very glad I decided to give them the show. So clappers all around the board. I actually cannot wait until the time comes where we can have the final forms for all of these three because I think that would look super duper cool, but the base forms are just as cool. So with that being said, let me know what you guys thought of the SH Figurarts Kamen Rider Vram. With that being said, I gotta say, I really did enjoy it. I think if you're a fan of Vram, Lakia himself, I think you're really gonna enjoy this figure. You know, a lot of good stuff coming out of it in terms of the posability, accessories, and yeah, I think that does it. In terms of the Figurarts line for Kamen Rider Gavv, I think we have Kamen, we have Blizzard Sorbet, we have the Sparking Gummy Suits, as well as Marbled Bray Cookie. I think those are the Amazing Gummy as well. So we got 5 more on the way. Hopefully they make the final form soon because I can't wait to showcase those as well. So for the final and last time, let me know what you guys thought of the SH Figurarts Kamen Rider Vram, and I will see y'all guys in the next video. See ya!